That's all you need. Spanner wrench or a crescent wrench. It's just a little baby one. I carry this in my nail bag. I use this all the time. And then I have a way bigger one of these too when I need it. But for something like this, I don't need anything bigger. And if you don't have one of these, what could you use? You could use a pair of pliers if you wanted. Okay? Because we're only loosening up the one nut and it's attached right to the supply line valves. And so I don't have to really hold the supply line valve at all. I just get up there with this and unscrew it and I should be fine. Oh, that's funny. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's how it usually is. But because these valves are facing up, you know, if you hold on there, depending on what you think is right and what is left, you could want to try to tighten that, thinking you're loosening it. But just think of the threads on normal faucets and stuff, righty tighty, lefty loosey, and then imagine this being up there and tightening down. Okay, see, in effect, it's going to the right, tightening it, and it just depends how you have your wrench on there, as opposed to which way's right and which way's left, if you know what I mean. Now I've got to look at this and see if I were to jerk the thing out right now. This pipe here is the extension for this here. When you pull this out, see how it goes in and out like that? And they put a weight on there. See that? That's just a weight to help you when you pull this, for it to go back down. So whenever you install one of those, you have to make sure that this piece is going up and down easily enough and it's not hitting any other pipes or fittings or your garbage disposal pipe or your air gap drain that's going for your dishwasher and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure there's enough room for that. And that thing just gets screwed on generally. Or this one might have little snaps on it, but I've seen them with screws and it just kind of fits over that and you tighten that up when you get a sink faucet, you know. So I just have, at first I thought, oh brother, I'm gonna have to disconnect this way up high, but no, I just pull that down like that. See, so now all of this is attached to the sink, right? I mean, I could put some masking tape around that so it doesn't get caught as I'm pulling it up. Last thing I would want is for this somehow to get wedged underneath that and for me to jerk the sink out and have it break this or something like that. Okay, all right, look at that. I'm almost ready. I'm gonna tie this all together, put some masking tape on there. Okay, like that. In fact, I could hold that up there too, like that if I want. And then I'm gonna put some masking tape over that. If I had some duct tape, I could do duct tape. Masking tape will be fine. It's just to keep the sewer smell from coming into your house. If you don't do that after a while, and depending how long it's going to be before you install another sink and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna say, hey, how come it smells in here? Well, it's because you didn't put something over that hole. Because we've done away with the trap now, right? The trap is what fills with water, and that water keeps your sewer line smell from coming into your house. Every sink has one, and even toilets have it. If you look on the toilet, you'll see how the squiggly line goes around on the side of a toilet. That's because it's a built-in trap before it goes down the drain. So even when you undo toilets, you might think, is there a trap underneath that? Generally, no, there's no trap underneath the house for that. So you got to fill that up with newspaper or something before you replace the toilet and that kind of stuff too. Okay, well, that is, I'll be back to you in a minute after I get everything ready to take that sink out. So I got that all taped up, ready to come out, and I put some tape around that. So I am good to go down here. I'll close this door, put the craft paper back, but I think I have some more of this material. I may want to cut a piece and put down at the bottom of the cabinet, because when I take the sink out, lots of this concrete is gonna drop down in there, and I don't want it marking and scratching that all up. That's pre-finished down there, and I want it to look as good as it does now when I get done pulling all this stuff out. So I may even cut 2 layers and put down there, and I'm still gonna try to see if I can't wedge something underneath between the sink and the tile around there, or how to do that exactly. Well, I've got enough stuff here to figure it all out. I want to protect that down there. Look at that. I had, excuse me, I had just enough. I've already cut my 2 little pieces, and that's going to give me a little bit of a buffer when this stuff drops, and it's going to protect the bottom. Hey, it didn't take me very long. If you've got the time, energy, and effort and know-how, spend a little extra time on your projects and do it right. Here's another thing. Usually I try to do everything on my own. Mommy's around, and every once in a while she says she'll help me and stuff, and I'm like, no, I can do it. I like to do it myself. That way I can show you on videos how to do it and all that kind of stuff. I kind of thought this morning that I could get her to help me before she went off to exercise. Well, this is one of the days in the late morning. She goes to a trainer and she goes exercising. I thought I would have all this stuff ready before she left so that she could help me lift this out. But as it is, she just left, and that's okay. That's okay. I'll figure it out how to get this thing out on my own, because I have to, right? I got my back lumbar support on, my knee brace, my goggles, my gloves, my ear protectors, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm still going to try to wedge under there. Ideally, I'd like to separate this cast iron sink from the actual tile, because I'm going to be saving the sink. It's going to be easier for me. It's going to be easier and less messy for this stuff to all fall around and have a chance to scratching my cabinets and stuff. But granted, I'm going to put the craft paper back. See, I just folded it back, and I'm going to leave that door off. I still got enough room to tape it all off. I'd rather do that. Then I can be careful with taking all of this outside out and cleaning it up, instead of trying to lift that whole thing. If I was in demo mode and we weren't saving any of this stuff, and I have another guy here, we'd pry this out, pry that out, one guy on one side, one guy on the other side, after loosening this mortar base up from the plywood, and lift the whole frickin' thing out of there, you know. But I'm not gonna do that. So I've got to hope that I can get under there, and that's okay. I'll do it. I'm sure I can do it. Now, before I start this, I always want to make sure about the masking tape and the paper, or the plastic. Make sure that the masking tape was still sticking over there. Before, it was loose a little bit, and I had to put some more tape. The cat got in here last night, or this morning, and she was inside this room. And then somehow she forgot how she made it in here, and she raced up, and she clawed that a little bit, and she stuck her head out of there. Mommy saw her stuck her head out of there, and then she jumped through. So when I got up, I had to fix that. I always want to make sure that this dust isn't going to go anywhere, and I've been going back and forth through here. So now I want to pull that over there, and I just use my knee pad so I don't have to tape this last little bit. And that's just holding this plastic. Make sure it's pulled over a little bit before I start, right? Okay, so one way or another, me, myself, and I are going to get this out of here. And I'm first going to try my putty knife. Now, this is a really super stiff putty knife, unlike my other one. See how flexible that is? Well, this one, I can't really do that. It's got an end. This was a really expensive one years ago, before I used it for other things. Look at that. It used to be straight. It used to be straight as that one. I got this one, just a cheapo, because this one got rounded corners and stuff. And I use this one for all kinds of stuff. Not for putting, or cleaning on inside corners, I'll use this one. And see, this one still looks brand new, yet I've had it for, oh, I don't know, 9 months or so, because I don't use it very often. Okay? So now, I'm just hoping I can get this loose all the way around. And I think I'll be able to. And it's going to take me a little bit of time to do that. And I'm hoping not to crack off some of the porcelain, some of the cast iron, because my intent is to sell this on Craigslist. I actually put the listing up the other night, hoping that somebody would want it and they could pick it up this weekend, let's say. And I may have to lower the price. I start at $225 for the sink and the garbage disposal. And the garbage disposal is in really good shape, and the sink's still in good shape. So I didn't get any bites for the first couple nights, and so I lowered it to $195. And if somebody offers me $150 or $125, I'll take it. I don't want to just throw it away. I'd rather have somebody get the use out of it rather than throwing it in the trash, let's say. Okay, so far I've got it loose up to here, and I think I'm just going to have to keep doing this, unfortunately, all the way around, because they've got something underneath there. See, this tile's already loose, this one, but I'm not going to pry on that. I want to get this loose as a goose so I can figure out what to do next. Okay, so I'm going to spend a few minutes, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. That's okay. I can do it, and so can you.